Hi everyone, Dr. M again. We are moving on to the next part of our donut challenge. We're going to be making the icing for this now. And I've put together some detailed instructions in the challenge, but I wanted to add this tutorial because I know how much it helps if you can go back and look at what we've done. So you're going to go into Vectary and you should have a donut that looks like this. That's kind of bumpy and lumpy on the top, and we're going to use the donut to create our icing cap. So first thing we're going to do is select the donut. Make sure you get that yellow halo. Go into edit mode. Click on edit mode up here. You'll notice I have a lot of vertices and lines because I've done an approximation subdivision here, and I am going to use a new tool, and I want to get this at a point where it is in perspective mode, not straight on like this, but just slightly off, so I can see a little bit of the other side. And I'm going to use the tool all the way here to the left. Normally we use the select tool, which is just the arrow, but we're going to use something called the marquee tool. And the marquee tool we can also get by just typing the M key, but this is going to give us a rectangle, and we're going to take a rectangle of almost the top half. And the reason I want this little bit of perspective here is so it doesn't give us just a straight cut through. I want it to be a little bit heavier on the far side, a little bit lighter on this side. So I'm going to come up here, I'm going to select the marquee tool, and then I'm going to come about halfway down. Now you can see that there's this little two lines with a dot and then a little box. So the dot is where the box is going to begin. So you got to pick a point about halfway down the donut, and then you're going to come right across, and you're going to hold the key down, hold the left button down, and that will highlight everything. So once you have all of your vertices highlighted, you can spin around, see that they're further on the other side than on the first side. So that's not exactly what I want, but close enough. Actually, let's go back and redo that. So Control Z, select our marquee tool. I've got a little less of an angle now, and I want to be right about there. Again, I'm holding down the left mouse button until I get to the right side, releasing it. Now I'm getting all of those, and that's better. That's not all the way down the other side. So now I'm getting the vertices lined up. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these highlighted vertices and I'm going to create a second object. So I'm going to hold down my Control key, press the D key, and that'll create a second object for me. Now then I can lift that object up, and you can see that it is an exact duplicate. It's still got all the roughness and bumpiness and everything. So now that I have that, I'm going to click outside someplace. I'm going to click on faces, or I can use the 3 key, select a face, and then Control A to select all of them. That'll highlight my extrude key up here in the toolbar. So I'm going to come up to the toolbar, click on the extrude key, and I'm going to look. Uh-oh, what happened there? Oh, that made it way too thick. So Control Z. So we're highlighted. We're going to get the extrude key, and then I'm just going to pull it out just a little bit, not too much. Don't want a real thick icing cap. So that kind of looks good. I kind of like that much. And these little ridges that we have here all the way around are going to help us make the dribbles look more realistic because they're kind of random. They're not really specific. They're kind of random all the way around. So now that we have this, I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and we're going to lower it back down. We want to bring it right back down on top of the donut that's there. Looks like we might have 2 of them. Let's see. Nope. Control Z. Let's see if I can get all of these vertices here and see if, no, there's just one. Okay. So I think because I just had faces, it was just selecting the front side. So I'm going to move it down in object mode. So I'm going to come back out in object mode here. You're going to see I have two pieces. Now right now, this Vectary sees this as one item. So what we're going to do is we're going to create another donut. So do a Control D here in object mode. Pull over our second donut, get it out of the way, and we can leave these separated a little bit right now. I'm just going to pull that out over there. Then we're going to select this first donut. Make sure we're yellow haloed. You can also select it up here in the object. Then we're going to go into edit mode. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get rid of the donut portion of this. So I'm going to select the vertice here, and I'm going to hit Control A, and it's going to highlight just the vertices of the donut, not the cap. So when I have this, I'm just going to delete, and my donut disappears. I can now go back into object mode, select the other one, go into edit mode, select a vertice on the icing cap, do a Control A, delete the icing cap, and go back into object mode. Now I have two separate pieces, and I can bring my donut back, and I can bring my icing down. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to change the color of the icing pretty quick here. So I'm going to go into library. I'm highlighting the icing, going into library, and I'm going to go to assets, and I'm just going to search up chocolate. And that should give me a couple of, where are they? Oh, let me go over into search. There we go. So we have chocolate brown glossy, so that's going to work well for me. So now I have a chocolate dipped donut, and I got to bring that down a little bit still. If we look close here, you can see that the cap itself is just a little bit too high. So let's bring it down there. And we can tell if we take it too low, you'll see the donut start to squeak through right like that. So we're going to push this up so we're right there. That looks good. And now it looks like we have a donut that got dipped in chocolate. And our next step is to add these dribbles to it. And the dribbles aren't too hard to do. So we're going to click on the icing. We're going to go into edit mode, and we're going to rotate it up just a little bit so we can see underneath here. And we're going to come in fairly close. And what we want to do here is we want to grab these lines. So we're going to use the 2 key, and we want to grab these lines that are like right here. Not the lines that are on the face like this one. We don't want to grab one of these lines, because this will just pull the outside face down. We want to grab one of these lines, because when we grab that line and we pull down, it'll pull down the whole section, front and back. And that's what we want to do. So once we get that line, maybe we select this one too, and pull that one down. Oh, something happened here. Got that line. So let's pull that line down. And we can get these little drips this way. So a lot of time what I'll do is I will grab the lines like this. So grab 1, 2, 3, and then pull that down as a group. So I get a big drip. And then I'm just going to come back and I'm going to select just this line right here and pull that one down too. So now my drip looks a little bit better. And then you're going to go around your cap and do this. And when we're done, we go back into object mode. You can see that we're starting to get that drippiness. And we'll start smoothing out all of this jagged edge. So it looks like the donut had some drippiness. And we'll get into how to round that out in the next part of the challenge. So this is the completed donut. You want to make sure you go around and add the rest of your drips, and we'll start smoothing things out, like I said, in part 8C. And if you have any questions, make sure you ask them in class or set up time to come and meet with me in an office hour. That's it for tonight, everybody. So have a great time putting your icing on. See you soon.